Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about two core concepts in social work practice, treatment planning and self-determination, and how they intersect through the lens of the NASW Code of Ethics, particularly the ethical principle of respect for the dignity and worth of the person. Treatment plans are meant to be collaborative, structured tools that guide the work we do with clients. They outline goals, interventions, and timelines. Ideally, they reflect what the client wants for their life. However, in practice, there can sometimes be tension between what a client believes is best and what the client actually wants. That tension is where self-determination becomes critically important. The NASW Code of Ethics clearly states that social workers should respect and promote the rights of clients to self-determination, helping them identify and clarify their goals. This means that even when we as clinicians think we know the right path, we are ethically obligated to prioritize the client's voice unless there is a serious risk of harm to themselves or others. Let me give a brief example. Imagine a client who is receiving services for substance use. From a clinical perspective, abstinence might be considered the ideal outcome, so a treatment plan might naturally include goals focused on sobriety. However, the client may not be ready or willing to stop using substances completely. Instead, they may want to focus on harm reduction, such as reducing use or staying safe. Here's the ethical question. Do we push for abstinence because we believe it's clinically best, or do we align the treatment plan with the client's stated goals, even if they differ from our own expectations? According to the NASW Code of Ethics, respecting self-determination means we should collaborate with the client to create a plan that reflects their readiness and values. If we impose goals that the client is not invested in, we risk damaging trust, reducing engagement, and ultimately making treatment less effective. At the same time, self-determination is not absolute. The Code of Ethics also acknowledges that we may limit a client's choices when their actions pose a serious foreseeable risk. This is where ethical decision-making becomes nuanced. We have to balance client autonomy with our responsibility to protect safety and well-being. So in the context of treatment planning, ethical practice involves engaging the client as an active partner in setting goals, using language that reflects their priorities, not just clinical terminology, being transparent about our professional recommendations, and continually revisiting the plan, because self-determination can evolve over time. Another important aspect is cultural humility. A treatment plan that respects self-determination must also consider the client's cultural background, values, and lived experience. What we define as progress or success may not align with how the client defines it. The Code of Ethics calls us to be aware of these differences and avoid imposing our own biases. In my view, truly ethical treatment planning is not just about completing documentation requirements. It's about creating a shared roadmap that empowers the client. When clients feel heard and respected, they're more likely to engage meaningfully in the process. So I'll leave you with this question. How can we as social workers balance our clinical judgment with a genuine respect for client self-determination, especially when their goals differ from what we believe is best? That question is central to ethical practice, and it's something we will likely navigate through our careers. Thank you everyone for listening.